Namaste, this is Sumangali. Welcome to my channel Simplifying Spirituality. Today's reading's topic is very close to my heart. It is about understanding, identifying your soul strengths. This you could talk about as a central archetype or a soul signature that kind of motivates every single action that you take in your life, whether it's towards love, it's towards success, career, anything. And so what I have for you today is six channeled messages, each of them corresponding to a particular soul strength. And as I was channeling these messages, I realized that each of them is corresponding to a planetary energy that governs us, something very similar to the Atma Karaka concept in Vedic astrology, if you're familiar with it. So what I've done is that along with each of these messages, I have pulled out a card from my Gods and Goddesses deck, which is the principal deity for this particular energy that you are choosing. So you can choose more easily. And I have kept two cards common for all of us, which is the sun and the earth, because these are two energies which affect us most deeply in our day-to-day life. So without any delay, let's go towards the montage. So here are the channel messages numbered 1 to 6. As explained, each of them is accompanied by the image of the deity that governs that particular energy. You don't have to worry about what that means. Just look at the image or the number, whichever calls out to you. Let your intuition, instinct guide you. Since this is about planetary energies, you may be drawn to more than one of them, and that's fine. You can read both the readings and understand more about your own energies. So pause the video if you still need more time to choose, else let's move on to the reading number 1. Hi number 1, so this is your reading. I have the channeled message for you, which is, I am the light of love, compassion, healing, and wisdom for my sphere of influence. I'm dedicated to learn all that there is and share my knowledge. So the key energy that kind of I feel behind this message is the energy of Jupiter. Basically the expansion, knowledge, which makes us the keywords for you really would be, you must be purpose driven, inspiring for others. You're always motivated for the greater good. Personal fulfillment is essentially for you to make a change in the world. So what I have done for this reading, just for you to understand on a base level, is this is your central energy that defines you. Along with that, there is sun, which is finding your space in this world under the sun, and this is your creative self, the earth, which is your love, your self-love and creativity. All that inspires us to be better. So below this, I've used two cards from my Bhagwad Gita deck. Bhagwad Gita it's a set of verses which kind of help us navigate through our material and spiritual life. I'm going to be focusing on the materialistic messages for you, clarified them with two Chakra wisdom deck, and Art of Love tarot, 3 cards. Same here, I've used two principal cards to understand your motivation towards love, self-love, creativity, using the Mermaid wisdom. Nothing in my opinion talks about it better. It's a very beautiful deck. Clarified it with two Chakra wisdom decks, and again the Art of Love tarot. So digging deep in, this is the first card that's speaking to me. You are someone who has, these are 8 material elements basically, the earth, water, fire, air, ether, and along with mind, intelligence and false ego, all the 8 elements that make us successful in our material world. And you are you've got Lakshmi in every single of them. So you're someone, in my opinion, who's seen a lot of success, who's created whatever these words stand for. Jupiter, that's what you've created in your life. Expansion, growth, a lot of inspiration for others. You are that kind of a person. But the whole reading is speaking to me in a very astrological way. Right now, as per Vedic astrology, Jupiter is moving from Sagittarius to Capricorn. It's just moved in, and it's been basically a kind of a 20-year cycle from the year 2000 to now is coming to end, because Jupiter is conjuncting with another planet, Saturn, which last happened in 2000. So it's like a particular energy, a phase of learning and growth in our life is over, and all the things that we've learned from there, we're moving on from there to something else, something that is overcoming the obstacles that we had seen in the last 20 years. So speaking about that, I'm seeing such a great pattern for you emerging. So while you have had great success, and as a person, you've got this card of homeland, a journey ends, a huge, you have a huge love for your homeland. You probably are doing something connected to the spirit of your homeland, your stories, your values, your knowing is all influenced by your homeland, and you're someone who has a very strong sense of self. You've got very strong boundaries, and you love, but you love in your own power. Now that's who you are. But the changing times, what are they bringing in? While you had a lot of material success, there's been progress. It's like a culmination, a successful culmination of a phase. But the pain point in that is that all through these 20 years, probably, you were craving for some kind of protection and security. While you were doing everything that you were supposed to do for the world, you were hoping for some kind of security, maybe from a love relationship. I am feeling that maybe that's ended. Even career-wise, you've peaked in what you've done. And you know that you have to branch out, but here is the thing, that right now the energies that you are working with is, number one, rebirth. This is a beautiful card of Krishna leaving basically Vrindavan and moving to Mathura forever, and everybody is kind of crying around him, but it's his karma. It's time to move on from this situation. So you are in that situation, but what's happening is that someone like you, who is so materially connected and doing so well, comes this card. It's like a twin flame card. It's like, you have a particular soul contract from before. I have to narrate this story because you wouldn't understand this otherwise. They're black and white. They are in the heaven before getting their next birth to earth, and they are in love, and they are being told yet again they are not going to be together on earth. So they pray again and again that, allow them an opportunity to be together. So now their guides bless them that if they do their soul's purpose, the work towards their soul purpose, they will find an opportunity to be together. So I am assuming that now your soul is taking over, your guides are taking over, and you're being pushed towards your soul purpose. Your strength lies in being able to understand every kind of philosophy and every kind of situation in this world, but this is kind of new to you. You have mastered every single material aspect of your life. Now you're supposed to dig deeper, which, because your life is so full, you have this card 5 of Trees, limitation. Just see that the light is not filtering in from anywhere. Everything is so organized and full in your life that there is no possibility of this light, this particular light from the card, filtering in. So you're feeling a huge limitation, and to be able to, this is the green again card, so basically to me it's to be able to open up your heart, because you're just so full with everything. And now what's happening in this story is so interesting for me. This card, growth, if you see, there are various grasses, and in between there is this weed, which to you signifies this new chapter that you have to start. It's unlike anything that you have ever experienced in your life. V doesn't mean it's the bad energy. It just simply means that it's different from your tended garden and you are trying to make sense of it. It's growing in your life and you just can't understand it because it does not follow the pattern of your life. So you are feeling limited to understand this call of the spirit and possibly a relationship or something that's going to lead you into this relationship. Without saying any further, it is like this card again, Knight of Angels, it's connected to the growth card. You've had to look at things differently, dig into your learnings from many lifetimes of different cultures, of different kinds. You need to dig deep in. And there is also, this card also signifies like a whirlwind romance or something which has taken you by complete surprise. I'm connecting these two cards and I have a strong feeling that, your Jupiter, your inner knowing, your inner wisdom is guiding you towards it. But your ego, your personality that you have developed, you're going to take some time to understand and accept this and move, because this phase of next 20 years is just starting. It's like starting around in end of March. It's not going to be easy for you to give up. It's not like you've built something, it's come to culmination. It doesn't mean it's end, but you are moving towards greener pastures. As you see, green, a lot of green here. And this is the card Moon. To me it's one of the most amazing cards. It's about emotions, intuitions, going beyond the sun and seeing within. But it also causes a lot of confusions if you are not in touch with your emotional waters, which I guess is the case. This is very new for you. This whole pursuit, this person, this relationship is very new for you and very confusing. And then comes in this beautiful card of an energy which is so different from yours. It to me can only represent someone in your life. It isn't your card. It's a card that you're moving towards. It shows as a feminine energy. It may be a masculine too, but this shows as the person you're going towards, someone who's very simple, very connected with their own self. You see, it's like a halo. Someone very gentle, but someone highly, though the card says guilt, but the story is about someone who is a giver, basically a giver, but someone who's also finding their own sense of self. And they are extremely different from you. The guilt here is basically getting over the guilt of being conforming to all people. And this particular person is finding their strength. And you are having to move away from your strength to understand this person. So there are two things, outcomes that could come. This Knight of Angel cards usually is like an energy comes and goes, and this shows the weed. You may choose to actually throw this weed out of your life and remove the confusion and kind of go towards guidance. I'm not saying that you will there is a spiritual path, there is a path of newer learning for you. You're going to embrace that. But the other aspect that's coming, either you will have to accept that, which I see actually is going to happen, because there is the acceptance card, harmony. Basically, this is about bringing different aspects of you in balance. To me, this is showing like the two different, very, very different energies that you are and this particular person brings in. And finding this person will help you connect with a part of you that's really, really required on your journey towards the next steps. So your soul strength, basically Jupiter, a planet of expansion, has helped you expand in every way in the first 20 years. Now he just wants you, your soul knowing, wants you to move in a different direction. It's not going to be an easy process for you, specifically because you are already extremely successful in what you are doing. And there is also, I think, hurt and limitation also comes from, if you see these cards, the outer imagery seems very similar. So you are carrying some kind of grief, and you need to turn that into forgiveness because you're so blessed otherwise. A lot is going on in your life, and I have just touched upon, because it's like I said, it's a 20-year cycle and you are moving towards the next phase. So each of my reading, I think that kind of closes the reading for me. What I will say is that you are in the process of change. Next 20 years, you've been very successful in the past. Maybe if you are younger, you've achieved a lot in your academics and have seen certain success, or if you're older, you've seen a lot of success in your career, and now it's time to change gears. And there is for sure love is coming in your life. There's something that you've left behind. Your career is going in a different direction, is demanding you to look at things differently. You stay in your power, but you will have to adapt to newer ways of looking at love, soul growth, and ultimately there will be acceptance, and you will be an embodiment of this energy, all-knowing, intelligent, but in balance. Each of my readings are usually followed by a healing, but I am going to be doing a common healing for all 6 later on, because I feel it's about evoking our own strengths, So it'll be a common meditation. So check the timestamps and do join me for the healing session if the reading connected with you. Thank you so much. Hi, number 2. So this is your reading. The message for you is, I feel. I'm keenly aware of the inner tides of emotions in me and others. I live to nurture those around me because I wish to be nurtured too. Oh, this is such an emotional reading, especially for me, because I kind of connect with this archetype. This is basically, to me, represented by Moon. Moon is the card that makes you look inwards. Emotions are very beautiful. They aren't our weakness. They are actually a reflection of our soul. What our soul needs and wants, it expresses itself through emotions. Our mind is our intelligence, ego, whereas our emotions are a reflection of our soul. So these are people who are well connected to their soul. They are intuitive, they are emotional, they are giving, they are relationship oriented, and their relationship even with the divine is something that's very personal to them. In the beginning of their lives, initial years, these are people who actually struggle a lot, because coming to terms with being so sensitive and emotional is very, very hard. But once they understand that what their emotions stand for, what's behind these emotions, and connect with their inner guidance and intuition, they are the ones who are completely capable to devote themselves to a path of nurturing the world. So it's a very, very beautiful spread that I am getting. How I do this reading is that under the Sun card, I pull out cards from the Gita deck, which is basically wisdom of life, and clarify it with 2 Chakra wisdom in 3 Art of Love tarot cards. So this gives you a picture of your life under the sun, and Bhumi, that's the earth. Under that, I draw out 2 cards from the Mermaid oracle, which essentially give us a picture about your creativity, love, self-love quotient, and clarify it with 2 chakra wisdom cards and 3 Art of Love tarot cards. So we'll dig right deep into the reading. The 2 Gita cards, I'm going to combine their meaning because both are pretty much telling the similar thing. There is eternal soul, the soul which is connected to the highest aspect of self and God. So these are people, you probably are someone who's well on the way of being connected to your higher eternal self. And you are the pure devotee who knows the essence of God, who's connected with the essence of divinity. So highly spiritual people, not religious but more spiritual oriented. So while we are doing this, I think I want to speak about the heart element, what that defines you, which is going to be more towards the love, self-love reading. But again, someone just see the moon. You're someone who's highly connected to the emotional waters and the cycles of the moon. You can dig deep within and understand your intuition and guidance. So you might already be on an intuitive path and you're highly invested in all your relationships. And at the moment, after all the ups and downs of the emotions that you've seen, you've learned to let go, stay adrift, and you are giving into higher forces and letting them take charge of your learning, growth, and way forward. And actually, it kind of comes in every aspect of you, in your creativity, in your ability to love people. You are giving up on a lot of hang-ups from your earlier life, like this particular card, insecurity, that I'm going to talk about. So coming back to finding your place under the sun, you are at that stage of your life where you were carrying like this heavy load of brick, this purple brick, and you thought it's a load that you have to carry. And you were told to actually set it down, and that lit up a path for you. That was your gift that you had to actually understand, and it's led you on a path to your higher guidance, to all the goods in your life. Basically, there's a cup full, there is the earth, connection with the earth, and you've already reached that point in your life. And you're someone who saw a lot of despondence in your life. Now you're giving that up for a higher purpose. You see a child here, it might be your inner child or a childlike innocence towards life. In favor of that, you've given up your despondence, and also your path has lit up. So you are at that phase in your life where you found your inner self, and that's leading on to success. You may be actually someone who is in a creative and possibly even a spiritual field. You used to do something else from which you've withdrawn, 5 of Angels, which is basically withdrawal. You've given the test in the fire, and you've understood that this garden isn't for you. You're using your wings to withdraw from the situation that you were in, and with faith and your giving, nurturing nature, you found yourself. That's the Queen of Stars. The heart star and the intuition star are both lit up. A lot of fire energy. So maybe you have, a lot of your planets in the fire signs as well. But basically, this is the wisdom, knowledge, some amount of, I'm hearing Jupiter here. So Jupiterian influence is there in your life as well. And so I explained the 20-year cycle in the previous reading, that if you wish to hear about, you can go into that. But I'm hearing for this person, this particular reading too, these guys have completed a cycle from the year 2000 and are now moving into taking their power. Until 2000, till now, you did all your learning and growth. Now you are the eternal soul, you are the pure devotee, you found your faith and your intuition and brilliance, and you're going to light up, you're going to illuminate life for a lot of people. So your path may be into, you might be a writer, you might be a creative person, or doing specific spiritual work, and you are going to do very, very well in this phase, and you're well on your way. I mean, this is the teacher. In this particular deck, this is Anand Mahima, the spiritual leader who kind of lived with her heart, who hugged everyone and just said, let all go and be in your heart. And you are now moving towards that energy. But there are still things happening in your life which you are sorting out. There is the Tower card, the ego. Something is coming to an end. The past 20 years cycle may have seen the ending of something or a lot of things, I feel. Maybe the career that you were in, you are giving that up in pursuit of finding yourself. You've given up a relationship that was based on insecurity, and you still haven't been able to completely open your heart to be this person. And that's where this whole spread is going to help you. You're currently in the energy of giving up insecurity and the collapse of whatever your life was. This 20 years cycle is actually now just beginning in the end of March 2020. And in this cycle, you will see all this coming to you. So moving on from here, this is your current energy, and when we do our healing, we will include some of the cards from this deck for you to focus on so that you can build and move on from here. I've already spoken about these cards. You are somebody very gifted who's already connected with their guides and are now ready to give into the guidance. This is a beautiful card. While you are right now here, it's a card of completion. Basically, this card says when you die, you're going to be a very fulfilled person. You would have taken up multiple roles and executed them beautifully, that you leave a legacy behind. You will be remembered fondly. So this is a path that's ultimate goal for you. The last card here and the last card here. So from the Tower comes in the next very, very beautiful card. It's called the Path Exploration. So if you see coming from 5 of Angels to the Path, this is already illuminated for you. There are higher colors of purple and blue and green. So the guidance is actually flowing in from everywhere, and there are waters on the side. So you have waded through your emotions and through your intuition to light up this path for you. So you're getting over from the Tower card or the Ego card, and you're opening up your heart to walk this path. This path is completely illuminated. To me, this isn't just a spiritual card. This is like the 10 of Cups. It's all around happiness, all around guidance, all around everything. It's like this card where you have your angels are giving you all the earthly comforts, the heavenly nectar and the guidance. So everything is there for you. There are jewels, there's you. So both are paths. If you see, both are exactly the paths. So you are here now. It's just such a reflection of the 2 cards. It's so beautiful. So you are already on your path, and I'm hearing that you're going to see tremendous growth in the coming year or so. All that you were trying to achieve in the past few years, understanding who you are, but you were only seeing failures, you're going to turn them around now. Now is the time. I'm not even saying that next month, next year, 2 years. I'm saying from now on. You're already on the path, and just see the final card. 10 of Hearts. Your heart is open. Your connection to the moon is completely established. You are in your power. And that's the final culmination for you along with completion. You will rejoice in being you. You will be adrift in higher powers and your own power and find the culmination. It's just a card of someone who's found themselves through their power of mood, through their power of emotions and intuition. You are heavily guided, and that's your biggest strength. You've already realized it. If not, then it is time to realize it. You may be actually facing these things as blocks as of now. You may still be having the crisis of faith, which actually doesn't seem like the case for me for this reading, because I'm very strongly feeling that you guys are also going through the 20 years cycle and you have done the work and you're going forward. And if you haven't, but you connect with the energies that I have spoken about, you're going to reach this point. You are going to see culmination, from coming into faith to culmination and completion. You're going to see so much of growth. And to help you unlock your strengths further, I am going to do a common meditation at the end of this reading. So do check the timestamps and come for that meditation. And if this connects with you, please like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. Thank you so much. Hi, number 3. So this is your reading. I'll begin with the message for you. It says, I'm committed to soldiering on in life. I'm driven by implementing my karma and doing all that needs to be done. I take responsibility and commitment to a purpose very seriously. So this to me is a complete Martian energy, though no one is entirely made up of a single energy archetype, but this might be the principal energy that's actually guiding you in everything in your life. You just are so committed and focused to just go on and on in all aspects of your life. Like the most committed people are with the Martian energy. They may or may not be leaders, but they surely know how to fulfill their duties. So it's a very, very beautiful energy that I'm getting. If you look at it, it's the blessings of this is Skanda, the deity for Mars. It's already has the blessings of Ganesha, which is basically wisdom, and the higher intelligence is always in the background. And he sits on a peacock, and he's ready to just do his karma. He has already all the gifts. So in this lifetime, he's just decided to do his karma. So the key words for your personality might be the protective, the compassionate kind of the person, the doer, also highly competitive. So to kind of explain to you how this reading works is, under the sun, I kind of pull the cards to understand what's your life situation like, how you are finding your place under the sun, and under the moon, the earth card is where I have laid out the spread to understand your creativity, your love, your self-love quotient. And what I am doing is, in this part of the reading, I'm using 2 cards from Bhagwad Gita deck, which essentially talks about the spiritual and material truths, and I focus on the material aspect for the readings and clarified them with 2 Chakra wisdom decks and 3 Art of Love tarot. And towards the emotional side, I use 2 central cards from the Mermaid oracle, because it's about waters and emotions and creativity, all come from waters, and clarify it with 2 Chakra decks and 3 Art of Tarot cards. So getting deep into the reading. So what I am seeing for you guys in material terms is there are 2 cards. One says the time of death, as in something is coming to an end. There is also the seed of creation. is the same Narayana, basically the same Vishnu, the one universal true God in the same avatar. But here he is ending and here he's beginning the creation. So you might be actually at a crossroads in your life. You might be ending a cycle. I think I had first talked about the Jupiter cycle, 20-year cycle in the first video. You can refer to that. But I feel that all of us actually, in all readings, it's going to come through that we are starting with a new 20-year cycle with the Jupiter and Saturn. And actually Mars is also a part of the conjunction. So no wonder that that 20 years. And from the conjunction, though he will move on quickly, he will carry the energies of the conjunction. So that's no wonder. So you are starting on a new 20-year cycle. You've ended the cycle that began in year 2000. And now by the end of this month, you're going to start on something new. So you are seeing a lot of changes in your life right now. You are currently at the ending of something. It may be a relationship or work-wise. You achieved great success in something. And now it's time to give it up. And you're kind of stuck in a victim mode. I'll not explain this card. It's simply being stuck in the grief and the sorrow of why me. But you're moving towards the next step already. The Martian energy is about movement. It's already moving you beyond. I mean, the colors also, if you see in this card and this card, the colors are matching here as well. So you're already moving with the Martian influence, the influence of your inner strength, your innermost, vibrance is directing you towards the next step. What's interesting is that moon has a very important role to play here. I usually talk about moon in terms of intuition, but I think this is a very, very material world kind of a reading. So moon here to me is clearly confusion. So here, if you see, you have the impatience. You're not willing for the guidance to come in and sort, or the fate to play its part and the time to play its part and situations to change. You trying to change them, force change, but sometimes that doesn't work. There is a time for everything and you're struggling with that. The lesson here for you is that it's all connected to your inner strength and knowing. So it's going to come anyway. The confusion and the impulsiveness of moon is not really going to help your case. You're fully in the moon, though it's a card of illusion and intuition too. But in this case, I'm going to read it as illusion because it's coming under the sun. It's actually coming in your path of life. So this is confusion. There is 4 of trees. The growth is promised. It's whatever blessings are there, you are going to start growing. You are going to start something afresh, something magical. Again, similar, I'm again seeing like it could be sun or it could be moon, but it's a common thing. Maybe your growth is related to some kind of moon related aspect in terms of understanding your own emotions and getting in touch with your emotions, dealing with them, not soldiering on. If you see, the same imagery is coming again and again. So it is time for pause before the seed of creation starts doing whatever it has to do. But 9 of trees is it's time for refinement as well. Take a pause. You're refining your strategy towards growth. It is a lot to do with your professional success, I'm feeling. Could be a relationship as well, but I mainly feel that the victim mode is related to you've done a lot of work. You are an achiever, but you're also very competitive and you like to take charge like the Martian energy. But at this point of time, there is confusion and you have to let the doubt, the moon, play its part. Let the shadows move and let the clarity come in. Let the sun shine on you. Sometimes you have to wait for the sun to shine. That's exactly what's happening in your situation right now. And your strength is going to let you wade through all of this and move towards wisdom. That's like the in-between card for you. So wisdom is learning from your mistakes. What is wisdom here? This woman is asking. And her grandfather says it's learning from mistakes, but also understanding what's going to matter tomorrow. Worry only about things that are going to matter tomorrow as well. Don't waste your breath on things that are not going to matter tomorrow. So sometimes it is best to just let the things sort themselves out and not worry too much. That's the wisdom that's lying in you. I'm also hearing that this is about not really, you might actually not be going catastrophic changes at your work scenario, but it might be your approach is changing in which you are unable to connect to. Your inner guidance is now moving towards another cycle of 20 years and it's changing the way you operate. And that's the reason you are so confused, because your usual way is of approaching things is not working probably. But it's all going to be refinement and growth and seed of creation. So you're going to do something related to what you were doing, but you're going to do something really big. That's how I see progression for you immediately too, and in a cycle of next 20 years as well. Now moving on to your creative space and your love and self-love. So in terms of creativity, I'm feeling that there's this card called Homeland, where it's basically you have a huge pull to your homeland. In a previous reading too, this came, but I think there it was more creativity related. But in this particular case, I have a feeling that your homeland is calling for you. You may be working away from your homeland and you might be getting an opportunity to move back or do something to move forward using the blessings or the, maybe you might start dealing in some kind of products that are from your homeland or some business related to your homeland. So I'm getting a very strong feeling that this is connected with your growth card. Your homeland is going to play a great part. And simultaneously, inner self, the crane bag here, this particular, the bag, it actually is like your inner medicine bag, which connects with all the energies that you hold within yourself. So I think this particular, your strength is now pushing you towards understanding other parts of you which you may have not given much attention to, in terms of the creativity is what I am feeling. So you're going to be forced to look at different ways of approaching your life, your creativity, your sense of self. You are the achiever, but there's a lot more to you, and that's being unlocked at this point of time. I'm also seeing like a woman with blonde hair finally resting. So it might be you, or it might be an energy of a person associated with you that you are going to pause with. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of gold energy, which might be Jupiter too. And if you look at it, while I was speaking about the other aspects of you, this particular card is about your inner child. You coming to terms with your inner child. You've been like this achiever for so long, and now this energy itself is forcing you to look at other aspects of you, and one of them is your inner child. What energies you hold within yourself that need to be healed, that you need to be looked into. That's coming very clearly from this reading, that there are newer learnings for you, newer ways of doing things that you have to get used to, and you will. This card comes in, the acceptance, harmony. It is about balancing out the two aspects. It's basically, giving and taking, and doing and resting, and every kind of duality comes into the play here, and you kind of balance your left and right, your doing side and your creative side. So you are coming into balance. And once you're coming into balance, you will get over the ego or the Tower card, as it all the disappointments, the time of death, the ending. You will get over that and awaken. Though this is a very this deck is very spiritual, but in this particular case, I feel that this is awakening is going to be towards a new way of doing things. The waters, if you see the waters for me are creativity, love, emotions. So you're going to approach things in a different manner. You're going to awaken to this particular way of approaching things in your life that includes your inner creativity, that's going to guide you in your next steps towards work and love and loving yourself. So this is going to be the ultimate outcome that I am feeling, and this kind of is connected to this card. So in life, you are going to be refining yourself, awakening. And like I said, I don't feel that there's been like an ending in terms of what you were doing and you're doing terribly, not doing very well currently. It's just that some way of living is coming to an end. Some way of using your strength only in one way is coming to an end. You have to use the wisdom that comes with it, the knowing of the peacock, the inner world of the peacock, the peace. You have to use these as well. So that is also coming across in the medicine bag, the crane bag. So you'll come in touch with many newer aspects of you. And I am going to be, so that is the end of the reading for you. I am going to be doing a healing session post all the 6 readings. So please do check the timestamps below, and if possible, join me for the healing. My approach towards today's healing is going to unlock your strength for the next 20 years phase, because I guess all 3 readings so far are repeatedly talking about that 20 years phase. Thank you, number 3s, for having the patience. If you like your reading, please do like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Hi, number 4s, welcome to your reading. I will begin with reading out the channel message for you. I enjoy beauty in everything: nature, art, love, passion, creativity. I revel in life, giving expressions of nature and experiencing them in full. I'm already actually a little heavy while reading these cards, because I'm feeling heaviness of some sort of a grief, but coming back to the point, this particular energy is someone with a lot of Venus in them. Their central focus, the strength that they carry in them is their creativity. It's their love for life, the balance, relationships, creativity, enjoyment and fulfillment, all the things that Venus offers. Those are your primary motivations towards everything in life, towards love, self-love, career, every single thing. And I'm getting a very, very strong feeling that you guys are highly creative people, already in the creative field. He is Nataraj, the god of arts and creativity, supported by Lord Ganesh, which is basically wisdom. So you're very wise also in your field. So how this reading works, I'll quickly give you a lay of the land. There is this Sun card, which is basically about finding your place in this world, and all the cards below that are related to that. So I use 2 cards from the Bhagwad Gita wisdom deck, which is essentially verses from Bhagwad Gita which are related to material and spiritual development in our world. I will focus on the material aspects of it. This is further clarified by 2 Chakra wisdom cards and 3 Art of Love tarot. This side is Bhumi, which is earth, which governs our creative side, our creative principle, love, self-love. So I've taken 2 central cards from the Mermaid oracle, because I think creativity and love comes across so beautifully in these cards. I clarify it with 2 Chakra wisdom cards and 3 Art of Love tarot cards. So diving deep, what I see is you're someone who's a master of your craft, who's not just a master of their craft. They know all the Adishaktis, the 8 material elements. You know how to play them for success in your art form. All the 8 elements would be earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. So you have all of them balanced, and you have the blessings of the Mother Divine Lakshmi in all of them. So you probably use art form to express the divine feminine in some way. There's so much of feminine in this card. If you see, like, feminine, women, 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 women. It's like full of feminine energy, and which is understandable because it's a very creative kind of a spread. It's also governed with Venus, which is not necessarily a masculine or feminine energy, but promotes all the feminine traits. So you are someone very accomplished in your art. You have, this card always it says conquering lust, but how it comes to me is that this particular woman, she is the Apsara who's actually taking away the life nectar of life away from the demons and giving it to the gods, just using her charms. But for me, this card is about someone who is in their full feminine power, knowing right from wrong, knowing what is it that they need to do, and being able to use your power. So this card to me shows me that you are a master of your game. You are highly creative. You are in power of your creative side, of your feminine side. You completely rolling over it. So that's the good part. And this card is very beautiful in the sense this is an old woman who is judged by everyone for her, her fun quotient and her dressing up sense and everything. And she is happy with her life. She's old and she ultimately dies. And all the town people go into her home and realize that she was such an accomplished painter. And she saw all of them. You see, these 2 are so grumpy and she's so happy and fun. And they realized that she saw them so differently in her paintings. She saw them, the best in them. So that's the kind of person that you are. You've made a lot of progress in your life. You've with folded hands, you've given to your craft, and you've made a lot of progress in your life. But there's some grief. I usually don't like to keep cards reversed because I believe that the cards will speak to me if it is a block or if it is a blessing. But this card refused to be turned straight, upside. This is basically the moment you take the card in reverse, it's someone lying in grief. It's actually, the energy of the card changes so much that it's making my heart heavy. And I read this card a little while ago too. This energy is unique to you. There is 5 of Hearts, sorrow. There is a man and a woman. The man is probably left. Possible bereavement. There is a soul connection on top. There's a lot of, oh God, so much of sadness in this thing. I'm not saying that you are a woman and you've you know, you are mourning a man or you've lost someone. That someone may actually be an old woman too, because it's like this old woman is repeating in the cards. It's speaking to me something here. She is dying. She is mourning the loss of a loved one. She is at the fag end of her life, trying to make sense of her life. So it's a lot of probably you fear growing old alone. You've lost someone. That loss may not be that ultimate death, might be grief of just losing someone. You're so much in your power, so creative, but right now you are completely despondent and worried about your final days, that you're going to be alone. You will end up in the winter of the life. You'll not be able to see the spring. It's a very, very heavy energy. And this card also is like you're wondering if you will find that comfort again. And the card is speaking to me that you will find home again. Losing home is one of the most painful things that can happen to a person. And I'm again and again feeling that you are scared of losing your home, something to come back to in your life. But it's starting afresh. There's a child and this is a child's spirit. Child spirit is here again. And the child spirit will find its comfort, will find its nurturing. Again, just below that is the Emperor energy, which is the fatherly energy. Doesn't mean a father figure. It's someone who's going to protect and take care of you, give you the home. I'm not saying it's a romantic relationship, though largely it does look like that finding home. You will find it again, nearby, in the future. So what you need to do is you need to forgive the situation, whatever came, the sorrow and the ending that didn't really come. You know, the fulfillment, the completion that you wanted so badly. It didn't happen. Maybe you were in a relationship and you were hoping for it to be your home. It didn't happen. Or you lost a person you loved to circumstances beyond you. Whatever it is, I'm seeing a feeling of loss, and that too in someone who's got so much of heart energy and so much of creativity that it's painful even for me to read. But you will move from here. This is your current energy, and this is the success that you have seen. So success is still a part of your life, very much a part of your life. But there is sorrow which is predominant. And the Nataraj is your inner strength that's going to dance again. It won't let you grow old in spirit. Won't let you be alone in spirit. You will always have your craft. You will always have your inner joy, because Venus is all about seeing beauty in every situation, in every aspect of life, every aspect of nature. So you will, this inner strength of yours is going to force you. This is such a beautiful inner strength. This woman who knows how to play her environment, who knows how to use her creativity, charm, this dancing with abandon, with the blessings of Ganesha, that is wisdom. So you are going to dance again. You are a very creative, fertile energy. And see, there's a child too. So you have created something beautiful. Either you already have children, or through this relationship that comes in, you will see a fertile life. And this is a very specific card. So to achieve all this, they're asking you that find your tribe by changing your appearance. So you might already be into, changing your hair color, changing the way you dress, just bringing a change in the energy, just changing something And though it says something else, caution, secrecy, wary, but the card specifically says that find your tribe by, by dressing up differently, by doing something completely different. And somebody will take notice. So you will find your tribe, you will find the one who will mend your spirit, your heart again. And then there is this card which is again speaking to me, that you're so worried about being alone and not finding your path, that you're not realizing that your inner creativity and child is already put you on the path. You already on that rebirth cycle. This changing your appearance in the sense is actually rejuvenating yourself, giving yourself a rebirth in your own eyes. We change our appearance not for people, we change it for ourselves, so that we can look at ourselves differently. And it's asking us that you're right where you're supposed to be. You home already. This quest card is, she's about to leave on a quest when this inner child guides her that where do you need to go? This is home. So by changing your appearance, by changing your own attitude towards yourself, you're going to find that you're already home. And in terms of how it is going to play out in your life, I see that you'll find home again with this Emperor energy and your own curiosity, your gold energy, your aura is going to lead you back on your creative path. It's lead you back to the fire in your creativity, the passion that you have. So there is an inner curiosity of learning that you have, inner curiosity of what's next. It's not going to keep you. See, if you look at even this leopard, the path is set for him, but he's got his back towards the path. He has to turn. It's just his curiosity is going to make him turn around. Your inner knowing is going to make you turn around, and you'll realize the path, the quest for the path is already here. So I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing to just change yourself a bit, give yourself the much needed confidence by investing in, your appearance, your wardrobe. Do anything feminine. It's a spirit. It rejuvenates, like nature rejuvenates itself and looks resplendent. Maybe it's a new season for you. Treat it as a new season. Bloom like spring is blooming now. In spring, go after spring colors, a spring haircut, a spring wardrobe. Go all out and change something. This grief is going to leave you. This is the real you. This right here. This, the allure, the magic, knowing how to play the feminine card. I find these such beautiful strengths. I'm not saying you are a woman, but to be able to navigate your way around in this world with your creative abilities, with your allure and power is something that you are. Ultimate thing is, what they are saying is that surrender to your power. You stop fighting. Surrender. The path is already set for you. It's all colorful. The power is already in you. So give up the unhappiness and the grief. There's like, I'm reminded of this particular person who lost his grandmother, and he's very creative. Somewhere this reading is resonating, relating to him as well. So, so many old women, this might mean something else to you as well. Women in your life who've guided you, who've been there for you. something to do with them as well. Maybe the grief is related to them, but whatever it is, if it is related to them, they are your higher guide. They are the guides that are who are going to bring you out of this. And this spirit of abandon, of being able to dance, of being able to use your inner fire is you. This inner strength is going to see you through everything. It's given you the power to be successful in every aspect of material life. And it's going to give you the final fulfillment to the end to your quest. The home that you desperately need or want. All of that is going to come to you through this. So pray to your craft and honor it. It'll open up the path for you. I think that's my reading for you. I wish you all the best. Whatever grief you have, I can feel it in my heart that it's going to leave you soon. I usually end all my readings with a healing session, which is essentially going to activate your inner strength further so that you can overcome all the challenges you have. So please check the timestamps and do join me for the healing session as well. And if you like what I'm doing on my channel, please do like, share, subscribe. Hi number 5, so this is your reading. I will begin with the channel message for you. It says, life is full of possibilities and I'm committed to exploring all avenues that open out to me. I'm curious and love learning, communicating and sharing information. I gain knowledge through all that I explore. So it's out and out a mercurial energy. Mercury is the lord of communication and knowing, and the deity here is goddess Saraswati, who is the goddess of learning. So just to give you the understanding of how this reading works is that there is the sun card and the earth card. Below sun, I pull out cards that reflect what's going on in your life right now, materially speaking, and below the earth card, I pull out the cards related to your creativity, self-love and love. For understanding the material aspect or your job or whatever is going on in your life, I pull out 2 central cards from the Bhagwad Gita deck, which is a scripture which gives you guidance on how to navigate your life. And 2 central cards here are the Mermaid oracle, which kind of teaches us how to wade through the emotional waters. And these are clarified by 2 Chakra wisdom cards on either side and the 3 Art of Love tarot cards. So I'll dig deep into the reading, but before that I had to read this particular card, which kind of reinforces the person you are. It says secrets of secrets. What is secrets of secret? It is the knowledge. The knowledge is the king of education, the rarest of all secrets and the purest knowledge, because it gives direct perception of the self by realization. It is the perfection of religion. It is eternal and joyfully performed. So basically, knowledge itself is God. That's how high it rates in our evolution. And you're right there. You've got this card. You've got the creation card, which basically says the She Shaman blesses every individual, every being on this earth planet with a song of their own. And this card is indicating that you have an inner song of your own, your inner creativity, your inner light that shines with knowledge and wisdom is something that you are blessed with. You carried it with you. And to top it, you've got this beautiful card, which though says conquering lust. But to me, this card is the epitome of the feminine power. There is this Apsara who's taking away the life, the life-giving nectar away from the demons and giving it to the gods. So this to me is someone who knows how to play their environment, who knows how to be what is needed in the hour. It's not about right, wrong, what to do and what not to do, but doing what's needed and having all the intelligence to get the job done. So combined with these, I mean, these three cards together, you're sitting on a landmine of potential. And just see the next card that comes. It comes abundance. And the card actually means that it's someone who creates abundance using their own creativity and industriousness. So you, and I am getting a feeling again and again that this is a younger person who is being talked about in the reading, probably just new in the job or still in college or university. So you yourself are full of potential, and you are understanding your potential now. You kind of not judging yourself anymore, healing whatever few hang-ups that you have, and you are persevering is the key word here. And you have a set of choices presented to you, and you're choosing with your heart. You are making the right choices, and you are basically becoming one with your own inner knowing. So you're already at a kind of a crossroad, and you've learned to have your faith. What I'm getting is that you had to make a choice recently, and that choice is taking you on a path of growth and faith in your own self. If you see this angel, she's got a blooming flower which represents her heart, and her heart is blooming with faith in her own self, her or his. So you're someone who's kind of sorted in that part. You may be already in a great program in the university, or you might have just joined a job which must have been through your perseverance and through making the right choices. So that's what I am getting. And if you are an older person, then you are at a very good stage in your career. You have the faith in your abilities, and you're not at a crossroads. You've created all this. This part of your life is already sorted. You're only going to go forward with a base like this, the base that you have. You only can move ahead. Yes, there'll be challenges in life, and those challenges are coming towards the love side. There's this card Gossip, which I usually like, but in your case, what I'm feeling is that you've felt very judged in your environment. You've been judged repeatedly by friends and family and everything, and you've kept your spirit, but it's actually eroded your confidence at many levels. There's this flower at the solar plexus, which is giving me the feeling of fear. Like, you don't show it, but the judgment has affected you very, very deeply. And this is combined with 5 of Angels, which is releasing yourself from your state of mind, the state of mind that's come from here, from so much of judgment of your own self too, because you were judged so harshly. It may even be in a relationship. In your younger years, you were in a relationship where you were judged for being, like this all-knowing and all-intelligent kind of a person, and you were judged for it. And now you're finally coming to terms with this. You're giving away that part of yourself. You're giving that grief away, and you are embracing your power. You are someone who's connected to her intuitive self too. You appreciate the lunar cycles. You respect the loop of nature, the high tides and the low tides, and all the emotional waters in you. You appreciate them and you connect with them. And you are right now in the process of refining your energy. You're just coming into your power. You've done a lot of hard work. It's like the energy that's showing is that you've done a lot of work towards becoming who you are, and now you are dealing with your emotional side, your sense of self. And slowly you are letting your heart power grow. And you are letting it filter in your aura, your own magnetism. You're letting it kind of grow in your aura. And coming to, you've surrendered to your own power. You know that you're never going to be able to please all. So this sword to me is you're cutting the cords with people like that. You are cutting the cords with people like that. And you're surrendering to this big and powerful angel that you are, and realizing that there are only a few people who can match my energy. So I'll have to cut out those who are not. You're surrendering to your own powerful self. You're not letting any kind of judgment come into the way. And what is the final card? I'll come to this first. Basically, this is a card of an old man sipping lemonade and wondering if he should have been anywhere else. But then he looks at the vista in front of him and realizes that this is all his prayers answered. This is where he was supposed to be. And that's going to be your ultimate thing. That you are going to do all that you are meant to do. But before that, this is the card. This is like the big moment after this. Completion of some big project. Completion of something, like if you are the younger energy, maybe you're going to get into the university that you want. Or you're going to get that dream job, or you're going to complete that project. I'm getting like you're a jewelry designer and you're designing this jewels. So you're going to do something really big. And what's coming to me is like you are entering a ball dressed like this, or an award ceremony, or something like that. And you are entering in this gown, all in your beauty. And there are sparks flying everywhere. And this is where I see love entering your life. When you are in your full power, resplendent in your power, you've cut out the people who can't take your brilliance. And you will find someone who deserves all this brilliance around you. So this is such a beautiful reading, and you're such a blessed soul. And young or old, you hold a lot of potential, a lot of potential. And lots going to happen for you in this spring and summer. You will find, I know the times are tough at this point of time with whatever is going on, and saying that spring and summer, lots is going to happen is like so difficult. But still, your reading seems to say that there's going to lots that's going to come. And so that's how I'm closing your reading. Just wanted to let you know that after my readings, I always do a healing transmission, which is to activate your inner strength today. So do look at the timestamps and join me for the healing session. And if you enjoy what I'm doing on my channel, please do comment, like, share, subscribe. Hi, number 6. This is your reading. I will begin with reading out the channel message for you. It says, I'm like a deep-rooted tree. I have seen many storms and understand the cycles of karma. I'm duty-bound in my approach to life and learn all its lessons with discipline and perseverance. So the central energy of this card is Saturn. The deity for that is Kalima. It is about, killing all the demons within you, all the negatives, and living your life basically upon the principles. It's a slow kind of a planet which builds very, very strong foundations. And the Saturn recently has changed its sign from Sagittarius to Capricorn as per Vedic astrology. I follow Vedic astrology examples. So it is a new cycle of rejuvenation for Saturn as well. And that's what I am seeing in this reading. When I say a deep-rooted tree, I don't really mean you are an old person or anything like that. It's more about an old soul. You guys probably are a very old soul who knows about the comings and goings of this world instinctively. Your keywords, if I had to say, would be mature, responsible, beautiful, a bit of a loner, and giving into depression a few times could be the negative. But what's coming across to me in this reading is beautiful. How it works is that along with the Sun card, I lay out cards to kind of understand your current situation in life. And along with the Earth card, I lay out cards to understand your creativity, your love, your self-love influence in life. So the decks that I use are two central cards in this side are from Bhagwad Gita, which gives us guidance on how to navigate life. On two central cards here are the Mermaid Oracle, essentially how to wade through your emotional waters. These are supported by two Chakra wisdom cards and three each of the tarot love cards. And so digging right within, just to confirm the message that I said, that the card has come is of transmigration, someone who actually understands that everything in life changes form. After death comes life, after old age, after youth comes old age, and you lose your body only to death. And someone who innately knows how to balance the duality, masculine and feminine, dreaming and doing, every kind of duality. And what's coming across beautifully to me is this card, service. Usually it is about, like, when you are dying, you're leaving a legacy behind, but I strongly feel that you were raised very principled by a strong matriarch. You've received the blessings of the strong ethics and morals that you have through someone in the older generation in your family, and that creates a very strong basis. One of the biggest things of Saturnian energy is that you could be a workaholic, and the card comes right here. Someone who just, even if they're not creative cards in your spread, so you may be a creative person but governed so much by Saturn that you just are a workaholic. You completely keep on working. But as I said, Saturn is changing a cycle. It's also currently going to come in conjunction with Mars and Jupiter. So the energy is kind of reviving in terms of a new, fresh approach to doing things and to expanding because of the Jupiter's influence. So that's exactly what I'm seeing in the cards. So I've already talked about your traits. Now what's happening in your life? You already have created an abundant kind of a scenario because of your hard work and discipline. But now you're giving into your dreams. It's a card of creativity, of letting your dreams decide your next step. It's not about pragmatism, which is actually such a key word for Saturnian energy, but you are moving from pragmatic approach to giving into your dreams, contemplating on letting the light of newer knowing come into your branches of, the old wisdom that you carry within yourself, the new inspiration that's coming. So we have many planetary influences. So along with Saturn, I'm sure that you guys have very, very strong other planets. And that's the reason. So what I feel is that with all your foundation, you've created something stable in your life. If you see, there is, even the Chariot is going in its direction without any anything shaking its foundations. And you have the balance. You've been a workaholic, but you're seeing beyond being a workaholic. You're moving away from that, and you're getting into your dreams and aspirations. And see, what is it that you're creating? Ultimate creative expression, creation itself, Ace of Stars. Using your unique talents and unique personality that you have, your inner charm and creativity. It's like every single color from your aura is bleeding into your new venture. It could be a new business, art-related business. It could be a new, consulting. You would be great at giving advice because you're just so grounded in everything. So there is something new brewing for you, something new which is based on your strong foundations, but is different from your way of doing things. I think, again, it's like this 20-year cycle is repeating in many of the readings that I have done. So Saturn, of course, is a part of the same planetary block. So I'm sure that you are under the influence of whatever you've done in the past 20 years. You've concentrated it and imbibed in your personality. You've given away what needed to be given away. And now you're moving forward using all your strengths and your dreams into a new direction. So it could be like very, very innovative kind of work that you were starting. And in that process, you are getting in touch with your inner child, healing all the old wounds. Inner child healing is a very, very important aspect for us to give away any kind of grief. And because of that Saturnian energy, we do end up being a little despondent. And your inner child is also taking care of that. So basically, it's the Saturn influence itself which has made you do all the work. But once you've done your work, Saturn rewards you so heavily. And that's exactly what's happening in your life now. The rewards are coming. Even on a personal front, you are letting loose. You're meeting friends. You're making friends for life now. You are delighting in sisterhood, as in if you are a male, company of your own group of friends, or if you are a female, a company of your own group of friends who are like at the same vibration as you. It's not about the relationship that you have, but being on the same kind of mental and emotional is more like that, emotional plane. And through that, you're finding your freedom. All the things that were blocked in you, you're finding freedom from that because of this whole creative influence that's coming, and you're becoming extremely wise. You're giving away the worries of the future and the sadness of the past and living in your present. That's the wisdom. Being able to live in your present. The blessing of the dove is today, and you're experiencing all that, and you're making abundant progress in your own way to love yourself. There might be, the Saturn energy is also very self-critical because you're such perfectionists that you end up being very critical of how much more you should be doing. But the final card really also says that you are giving up on your judgment to yourself. You're persevering on your path. You're seeking new inspirations. You are at peace. Just see, the eyes are closed. And there is an inner knowing of your own self. All the colors are kind of taking its form, and you are knowing yourself, and you're setting yourself on a path of discovery. That light for me is your light of freedom that's calling out to you. And you, the old soul, are ready now to follow that path. So it's a very, very beautiful reading. You are loving yourself more and more. I'm not hearing much of a love influence in this particular reading, because I think more than anything else, with this kind of a strong energy, you first need to learn yourself. Love yourself, sorry. You need to love yourself. Learn to love yourself is what I should be saying. So yeah, it happens. So yeah, and again, suddenly this Earth card is jumping out to me. It's reminding me that you might be an old soul, but you are so much in balance and harmony when all the elements, all the 5 elements of your nature and your own wisdom and personality and ego, all are making you this kind of a resplendent person. This is your destiny. This is your ultimate destiny. It's not about masculine or feminine. If I had to describe the masculine, it's the same. this card would be your destiny. I mean, these cards didn't speak in any other reading. They've spoken out in these. So this is your ultimate destiny, because your foundations are very strong. So I'll close this reading at this point. I follow these readings with a healing session, which is common to all the readings. This healing is essentially to kind of invoke your inner power even more, so you can make progress on the route that it's guiding you on. So please do join me for the healing session. Check the timestamps for the exact timing. And if you enjoyed what I'm doing on this channel, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you for joining me back for this healing session. Start with taking a few deep breaths on your own. Focus on ensuring that your inhales and exhales are of equal duration. We tend to inhale shorter and exhale longer. Making it equal helps us being receptive to healing and higher energies. As you concentrate on your breathing, I begin with our prayers to all the 5 elements: the sun, as in the fire, earth, water, air, and ether. I pray to them to help us achieve balance in our bodies and minds. I pray to all the planetary bodies who have influenced our psyche and our inner resilience to help us find our strength and align it to our purpose in this world. I also pray to the guidance from the mermaids to help us treat our emotional waters better, so we are faced with fewer challenges in our lives. I'm hearing emotions are us humans' biggest allies and biggest follies. We don't let them flow when we should. We guard them when we should not guard them. And we let them flow where they are not required. So may we learn the art of balancing our waters and emotions. Following these prayers, I open a connection between your higher heart and mine. Opening your heart to the subtle vibrations of energies of the planetary bodies that you connect with. For them to enter your heart and strengthen your incarnated soul and awaken it to your purpose and growth. I'm seeing a beautiful picture of your life, a home, personal fulfilling relationships, work, social gatherings, which I know are all restricted right now. But I pray also that we get through this maddening phase to our normal lives. Bringing our focus back, I see you in your power in each of the situations. I see you in your home, at peace, and nurturing your creativity. I see you in your relationship, completely present, beautiful, and fulfilled. I see you at your workplace, achieving all your dreams and desires, getting recognition, getting perks, raises, all things good. And then I see you in your social situations with friends who are adding meaningful joy in your life. In some cases, they are children too, who are carrying an essence of you, of a fulfilled you, to go out in future and be better people. And behind all of this, I see the innermost part in your heart, your incarnated soul, that's aware of your purpose, of your strengths, of the lessons that you need to learn. I connect with that part of you and pray to the guidance from these planetary energies to strengthen your soul essence. Strengthen it so all the weaknesses and all the blocks melt away. I'm seeing 6 rays that are emerging from my higher heart and connecting to each one of you. 1 ray for each of the strengths that they represent. They are colorful, beautiful energies of Lord Jupiter, Moon, Mars, Venus, Mercury and Saturn. And these, like, a protective coating along with them are going the energies that I am receiving from the spiritual sun and from the Mother Earth. Imagine this kind of an energy, which is 3 energies merged into one: the sun, the earth, and the planetary influence. That is your innate strength, together through their higher heart, your higher heart and mine. They build your strength. I see all of us suddenly in a brilliant white light of overall healing and crystalline energy that's taking the frequency of our being to a higher vibrational level, so we can receive all the higher downloads and energies associated with today's reading, and now the healing. May all the predictions that came through in the reading, all the energies that are working towards your growth and development and you finding yourself, may all integrate in your being, as within, so without. I leave you in this wide energy bubble. This will ensure that the healing that has been imparted to you stays with you and integrates into your being over the next few hours and days. I'm hearing from the universe that it's a time of great change in your environment and within you. finding your own power in these times is the biggest blessing that you could get. So I leave you in this blessing. The connection between my higher heart and yours will remain active over the next half an hour or so. So stay open to the healing and say thank you to all the higher powers who've blessed you today. May all the good in the world come into your life. I leave you in peace. Thank you.